Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV. I hope you guys are well wherever it is that you may be around the world. GNA TV fans, welcome back. Chelsea Fan TV viewers, welcome back as well. Our second transfer show live stream for you guys, which will be pretty much going over the breaking news yesterday in regards to Raphinha to Chelsea. We've been told it's a full agreement. It's not specifically a done deal yet, but the full agreement's there. We've learned a little bit more today about personal terms and what sort of wages Raphinha will be taking on as well. So we're going to be discussing all of that along with Savic, along with Kounde, along with Koulibaly, along with De Ligt. I mean, everything. There's lots to go through. And in the meantime of that, we will have Pies as well. We'll introduce him after the intro. But anything that does break while we are live, we've got Pies. Pies will announce it live on stream. But you've got to do me a favor, both on Chelsea Fan TV and GNA TV. Let's get these likes up. Let's get this over 100 likes. Share on all of your socials, guys, as well. And before we move forward, you know what time it is. Let's cue that intro. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV as well, guys. Over 150 of you guys here already combined. I have got CFC Pies with me as well. He's not new to GNA TV. He might be specifically new to you guys if you haven't seen him over in Chelsea Fan TV, but he does join me quite a lot on these transfer shows. I want to start by welcoming Pies. Pies, how we doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm doing good, bro. Thanks for having me on again. Yeah, first time I've been on Chelsea Fan TV, but it's good to see that you're collabing with them. Really, really good channel and stuff. So, yeah, obviously your viewers will know me more as well. So, yeah, looking forward to another show.
Yeah, looking forward to it. But at least now we're starting to see some action from Chelsea Football Club. And we are going to delve into the Raphinha news in a second. There's loads of you in the chat already. I want to just quickly say hello to every single one of you guys as quickly as possible. John CFC, RD, Newsflash, big up to you. Surfs, FPL, Rubber Ducky, Reese. Who else have we got here? Grey Wolf Dinner. Paul, nice to see you in the house. It seems like we've got a lot of excitement in the place. Erin, Paul, who else have we got here? John, CFC Jack, Seppers, Rodrigo, CFC Pez Lord, Bill, M3, Fator, what's happening, bro? Nice to see you in the house as well. Tobago, who else have we got here? Undertaker, CFC Jack, Joshua. I mean, I could be here all day, guys, but I will do it. I'll do it. Stuart, Shaz, Chelsea Fan 11. Who else have we got here? Blues Brothers, big up to you, my guy Charlie. How you doing, bro? Road Agent, Andreas, Minerals of Carefree, Kings Chelsea, the Kings player, Ilias. Man, I'm gonna be here all day. Stop this, guys. Everyone's saying hello. Harry, Yassif, Sans Ligo, Liam Lane, NS Sports, Emma. Yeah, big up to everyone. Zach, all of you guys. Sorry, big up to you. I've been here all day, guys. It's over 200 of you guys here already. So big up to every single one of you. But let's get stuck into it because there's so much that we need. We need to get stuck into. Get high again, yeah. But we're going to start off with Savic, guys, because it seems like in recent moments we've had a little bit of news in and around him. I haven't really spoken about him on GNA or even with Pies, to be honest. It's one of them ones that's been in the backgrounds and we've not really picked up on it. We just waited for it to sort of heat up a bit. But Simon Phillips come out today and confirmed that Lazio sporting director, I don't want to try and pronounce these names, I'm really bad, but Iglitare is back in London for the second time in 2 weeks to offer I can't even say his name, Pies, that's bad, isn't it? Savic to Chelsea, and also discuss the club's interest in Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Emerson. Now, interesting stuff. I mean, when you read that originally, it makes it look like Lazio are interested in allowing him to go. It seems like the player's interested as well. His agent is Matthias Kesman, one who played for Chelsea before. There is another comment which we'll get on to in a bit. But Pies, this is one that's sort of, I don't know. We've not really picked up on it. We've seen it in the backgrounds, but it seems like it's heating up more and more, doesn't it, this one?
Yeah, a little bit. It's still interesting. I wouldn't say like it's very, very hot until like we get, maybe something from Di Marzio or Fabrizio or something like that. But I mean, to be fair, Sami Mokbel from the Daily Mail did say that Chelsea had been offered him, and he's quite a reliable source. So yeah, I mean, I'm always tentative when that word offered comes, So usually when, it's very, very common when agents offer players to clubs all the time. Look, we got offered Gabriel Jesus, we didn't go ahead with it, but Milinkovic-Savic has always been linked to a big club, really. He's been around for quite a long time now. I mean, in 2018, sort of 2019 period was really he's sort of when he was like touted to be £100 million and this
Mm.
crazy, crazy player, but. Yeah, he's just come off his best goal and assist season. So the fit for me is a little bit weird in our current team, unless we're moving to a four at the back, because I
Yeah.
don't really see him as a pivot player. But again, he's an all-rounded player. And it'll be interesting to see if there is some sort of swap deal to be had, because obviously they do have Maurizio Sarri there. Sarri obviously loves Loftus-Cheek, loves Emerson, so naturally, maybe even Kepa, or maybe even Jorginho. Who knows? So. Yeah, Sorry has an interest in a lot of our players. So I'm interested to see if this one develops more. But for right now, I'll just be a bit cautious on it.
Yeah, I hear you. I think the one thing that's interesting, obviously, we're going to talk about Raphinha next. Is that obviously we've got Raphinha. Sterling looks like it's going to happen as well potentially, but with the signing of Savage, that in my own mind tells me that we're switching position, switching formation. I mean, a lot of people feel that that may happen with just the signings of Sterling and Raphinha. I'm not 100% sold on that, to be honest. The midfield area is key and interesting because obviously in recent times today we've even heard that Jorginho is looking to potentially go back to Italy as well. Chelsea will have to improve in that area. Now we know who the big name is that everyone seems to talk about a lot, which is Declan Rice being linked to Chelsea. West Ham have made it very clear that they're not willing to sell him this season. Maybe from a Chelsea standpoint, it's a better option to stay away based on the price tag, not the ability of the player, but the price tag that Declan Rice requires. So looking at Savic, who a lot of people would say, but he's an 8, you'd have to still buy a DM and whatever else. Maybe Tuchel feels he can do something different with him. Maybe he feels him and Kovacic or Kante could maybe play in a double pivot as an option as well moving forward. We'll have to wait and see if this picks up more and more and more. We did have one more comment on this Savic news, and it was actually from my broski, actually. One of my other bros, Mr. Terry Flewers from the Football Terrace. And he says reports on Savic to Chelsea are wide off the mark. As of now, no contact between the clubs. It is felt the agent is pushing for a move to Chelsea and are seeking a lucrative pay rise for his client, whose deal with Lazio ends in 2023. So it kind of makes sense why his agents in and out, second visits to Chelsea, trying to get the job done. But from a Lazio standpoint, we're probably quite far out in terms of trying to agree an actual fee for the player. It goes on to say Chelsea could accept the offer and negotiate for the player as per the fluidity of the transfer market, but claims of an imminent deal are wide off the mark as of now. So yeah, it may happen. It's not heat. It's not to the point where it's very heated. At the moment, we'd probably say that it's like the others that we're pretty much linked to. We've probably got our hands in many pies and trying to actually test the waters with certain agents, certain clubs, and trying to understand, if there's a way of being able to pick these guys up. Listen, guys, it's over 350 of you guys here. Big up to every single one of you guys. Currently, we have 183 viewers on GNA TV. Let's get them likes up. We are talking Raphinha next. Let's get these likes up to over 100 likes, please. We've also got on the Chelsea Fan TV side 185 viewers there as well. Welcome to all of you guys as well. Please make sure we get these likes over 100 for Chelsea Fan TV as well, guys. But we'll move swiftly from Savic and we'll start talking about the news that come out of nowhere, shall we? And that was the news in and around this guy, Raphinha. Now, Fabrizio Romano came out yesterday and said Chelsea and Leeds have reached a full agreement for Raphinha. The official bid accepted around 60 to 65 million euros, add-ons obviously included. They're saying that the fee itself will be in and around 55 mil, with obviously the add-ons making it around 65. Main part of the amount to be paid immediately. It's done between the clubs, but talks are ongoing from the player's side on personal terms and contract. Boehly is on it. And I ain't going to lie. I'm going to ask Pies this first, but how did you, I mean, for you, Pies, did you not feel like this just came out of nowhere from Boehly and Chelsea? Like, I know he was sort of linked to him, but to just go from being linked to bang, there you go, and there's a full agreement with a football club. Did that kind of shock you?
Yeah, 100%. And these are the best transfers. I think this is why everyone's so hyped as well, because it's not like a Kounde where we've had, I mean, to be fair, we have had long-term interest in Raphinha, like Fabrizio and all these guys have always said, like, Chelsea's still in the race. But I thought they were just throwing our name in there. I was like, we're going to focus on Sterling, surely. And then for me personally, I thought we'd wait to see what Dembele did and probably get Dembele. But then all of a sudden, these journalists said that we phoned, or Todd Boehly phoned Leeds yesterday afternoon, and bang, it was done just like that. So yeah, I mean, Todd Boehly's been very, very impressive so far. He's asking City what they want. He's not messing about for Sterling, and he's not messed about for Raphinha. These are the best types of transfers, especially when you can, annoy another club like Arsenal. I mean, it's fantastic to hijack their deal. I mean, the scenes on Twitter yesterday were brilliant. Thanks for the free comps, Arsenal. Everyone was spamming the edits and everything. It was just brilliant. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Do you know what what made it more tastier for me was just nicking it under the wings of Arsenal, because they were so gassed. You saw some of the like you said, comments on Twitter of like Raphinha in Arsenal shirts, imminent, going to happen, this, that, and the other. And then Todd Boehly, Batman style, Dark Knight style, comes out of nowhere and just hijacks the deal. Do you know what I mean? In the dark. And do you know what? It's he's a player. When I was asked at the beginning of the summer window, who would you like to see at Chelsea? He was one of the players that I looked at and thought, I would like him. I really would like him. I never thought it would actually happen, to be honest. But when I look at what he brings, and the type of player he is, obviously he's not the finished article, but he brings a lot of ability. And I read some crazy stat that Matisse brought out on him actually yesterday, where he'd created over 100+ chances in the Premier League, and no one else has done that other than Mane since 2020 to 2021 onwards. And he has the ability of a player that we don't currently have at Chelsea at the moment, which is in tight spaces, in tight spots, being able to make space for others, create something out of nothing is what I'm trying to get at. So being able to dribble in tight spots, open up the pitch, and then allow people to run off it, attract players to him. And it's going to be key to see how Tuchel uses him. There was talks about him potentially being used as a wing back. Some others disagree and don't like the idea of signing a £60 million player to be used there. But Pius, from your sort of view, how do you feel Thomas Tuchel will use Raphinha moving forward? Or do you feel that we just got to wait and see who else comes in along with him first before actually working out what he's going to do with him?
Yeah, I'm not really too sure yet. I think with Raphinha and Sterling, for me, you kind of have to move to a four at the back. I don't think Raphinha's an inside forward. Sterling a little bit more so, but still, for me, these two players we're signing are wingers. They're not tens, inside tens. They are pure wingers. They need space. They need space to be able to run. They need space to be able to dribble. So, yeah, I'm kind of, I kind of will be a bit confused if we do just keep playing the three at the back. But at the same time, look, let's see what Tuchel does. Maybe the four at the back becomes more of a valid option now, and we just use it more, but keep the three. I don't know. I'm very, very intrigued to see. But off the face of it, I think these two are players that are pure wingers, and we have to kind of tradition the four at the back more. Use that more as a tradition, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Big up. I think it's going to be interesting how he uses him. Again, it all depends on how he moves forward with the system. If it's a three, whether it's the four. If he uses the three, I still think we could see him potentially being used as like the inside forward off the right. Him, Havertz, and Sterling would be very tasty. I see a lot of people talking about that on the timeline already. It's not a done deal yet, guys. I would say we're probably, Pies, would you say we're 85% there? Do you feel there's nothing that can potentially go wrong with this deal, is there? Do you feel?
I think we're probably 95% there. I mean, we've sent the bid's been accepted. I mean, Fabrizio said, I think an hour ago, that Todd Boehly sent the personal terms and contract straight after the bid was accepted. So it's been on the table for last night. I mean, all we need now is a yes on the player side, and it's here we go. So I think it's probably 95% done, to be honest with you, Jem. I don't see anyone. No one could come in and take him off us. Barca haven't got the financial muscle. Arsenal and Spurs are, they can't do anything. So, he's Chelsea's.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, the only, I won't say worrying element of it wasn't real worry, but Ben Jacobs came out yesterday, and we've got, just to let you guys know, tomorrow, Thursday at 4 p.m., Ben Jacobs will be joining us not only on GNA TV, but on Chelsea Fan TV to bring us all the updates as well. More on Raphinha, Sterling, potentially Kounde, and others. So, yeah, make sure you guys are around for tomorrow at 4 p.m. for Ben Jacobs on the show as well. Yeah, I mean, there's this comment here for obviously still going on from what Fabrizio Romano is saying. The only thing that I thought could potentially go wrong from what Ben Jacobs said yesterday was that he said, like, yeah, it's Chelsea have gone in with the full agreement, but Arsenal have kind of left the door open as if to say, like, they may potentially bid the same as Chelsea or bid more. So he would still have the option to pick between the two. And obviously Arsenal haven't done that yet. It doesn't look like they're going to do that. Obviously, they did offer him, I think it was around 55 million sterling, and he turned it away. He made it very clear. And it's funny because Ormstein, is someone that some people like, some people don't. He came out before all this news was broken and actually said that Barcelona is his main target, but Chelsea is second and Arsenal third. So the fact that Chelsea have now shown big interest and laid the money down for him, he wants Chelsea. He will want Champions League football. There's a lot more attractive to Chelsea than there is to Arsenal in many ways, in my view. And Thomas Tuchel seems to like him. We remember there was that little camera footage of him talking to him after the game, and people then were like, "Oh, what's going on here?" sort of thing. But he's a good player, and I am looking forward to him at Chelsea. He brings so much as well. Something that, like I said, we haven't got. Fabrizio Romano says Chelsea have already sent an official proposal to Raphinha and his agent Deco to discuss personal terms, as Boehly wants to be fast to avoid problems. Work in progress. Chelsea will also send new bid to Man City for Raheem Sterling. We're going to talk a bit about Raheem Sterling soon, because it's around, I think we're saying around 35 to 40 million is where we're looking to go in with that. Whether it works or not, we'll have to wait and see. We are going to move away from Fabrizio's comments, but we're going to move to one more, which he brought out 9 hours ago, which is the Raphinha deal. Key hours ahead of Chelsea, as they will try to reach full agreement with Brazilian winger and his agent Deco on personal terms. Really important steps. Chelsea club agreement with Leeds is around 65 million total fee. Arsenal tried until yesterday and now waiting. So I don't know what they're waiting for. They're just waiting for him to, just be confirmed as a Chelsea player. It may potentially be the case. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. And then we had this from an hour ago saying that Chelsea's proposal on the table since yesterday night. Boehly wanted contract bid to be sent right after 60 million agreement with Leeds. Contract offer up till June 2027. It's still under discussion between all parties. Key steps before saying done deal, but it is just literally then fine margins of agreeing personal terms of minimum wage. We're going to move to Nizar Kinsella's comments in terms of the wage itself and an idea of how much we're looking to get him for, which we'll quickly do now. But in the meantime, guys, there's nearly 700 of you guys here. Big up to every single one of you guys that are currently in that chat. But the one thing we need you to do, guys, is get this over 100 likes on both if it hasn't already. We've got 85 likes on GNA TV with 360 of you guys here. Big up to you guys as always. On the Chelsea Fan TV side, we've got 316 of you here. So yeah, 600 plus viewers combined together at the moment. 300 on each channel at the moment. You guys are on 121 likes. The aim for you guys is to get this over 200 likes. So please make sure you do that as well. More news on Raphinha, and the news of Chelsea have offered 6 million a year in personal terms for Raphinha. An agreement between all parties is thought to be close after leagues accepted the Boehly Clear Lake offer. Pies, what was your thoughts on that? When you saw how much we're getting him for potentially, was you again shocked by the amount?
Not really, to be honest with you. Is this in terms of the wage or the fee, bro?
The wage, sorry.
Oh no, yeah, no, I'm a little bit shocked, but not really because I think we've still doubled his wages from Leeds. So
Mm,
I think he's on about 60K or something. But I mean, yeah, this is fantastic because I think on the Roman or Marina, we're probably offering like 180 to 200. I remember when we nearly signed Kounde last summer, and the Athletic said that we were offering him 200K a week straight off the bat. So and to be fair, I mean, everyone was like, "Oh, Todd Boehly will pay big wages as well." Look what he does with the Dodgers and stuff. And it is kind of a flex when you can put down big wages, but at the same time, Todd Boehly's very smart, and I think this is a great sort of first contract offer. And look, if he does really well for us, he can always get a healthy pay rise. That's no problem. So yeah, I just think this eliminates a bit of pressure off him as well because I think he's on pretty much the same money as Hudson Odoi and a few others. I think even Malang Sarr's on like 120K a week, bro. It's
yeah.
ridiculous, and this is like a new marquee attacking signing as well as Sterling. So yeah, I think it's really really good to be fair. I'd describe it as.
I think it's good for Chelsea when you think about how we negotiate wages. I just got this feeling that if Marina and Roman are around, he probably would have got about 170, 180. The fact that we're looking to pay him around 115 to 125,000 for a forward is pretty impressive. Maybe, like you said, you've brought it more down when you think about it, because the fact that he was on 60K before and then getting that 100, he's doubled his weight. So in theory, he's actually done quite well himself. With this whole deal, players, do you feel that we overpaid for him? Because certain people still seem to feel that Raphinha at 60, 65 million is a bit too much. Or do you feel that Todd Boehly has negotiated and done quite well with this one?
I think it's about the right price. I know if Leeds got relegated, I mean, he could have been available for like 25 million, but that would have been honestly like the bargain of the century. Like, you've seen Basuma go for like what? What did he go for? Like 25, 30
Five.
million? And yeah,
Yeah.
he only had a year left on his contract. That's why, I mean, that's a fantastic bargain. But for me, Raphinha at this price, sort of 55, 60 mil. I mean, look, he's one of the best swingers in the league. So, yeah, he's going to go for that. Look, what would West Ham charge for Jared Bowen? Probably like 70 million. What would, other clubs that are not as big as the top six charge for their best player? It's going to be the similar or one of their best players. So yeah, I think it's about the right price, bro. It is expensive because anyone above 50 million, that's a huge talking point. But at the end of the day, you've got to pay for quality in this league, and I don't know how people can moan about the price. To be honest with you, like, he is a quality player, and you've got to pay for that. So if you want to do these 30, 40 million pound deals all the time, go ahead. But sometimes you need to pay for this quality and to beat other people in the race as well, and that's what we've done.
100%, 100%. And at the end of the day, I know Arsenal fans are sitting there saying trying to make themselves feel better by saying, well, Chelsea overpaid, but you guys offered 55 million sterling, a 5 million difference between what Chelsea have potentially done and you guys have done had made no difference. And if you would have signed him, you wouldn't have said he was overpriced. It was just quite funny how some Arsenal fans had come out and said that he's actually better than Saka and whatever else, probably bigging this guy up because they thought it was done and he was coming. And it kind of gives me that Willian vibe. You know, when we signed William from Tottenham that time, it was a little bit worse with the William one because, like, he had he was on his way to a medical to Tottenham and we just completely hijacked it. Do you know what I mean? So it's a big win for Boehly. It's a big W for Boehly. And, as Chelsea fans, there was so much certainty around, when are we going to start getting business done? We're linked to every Tom, Dick and Harry here, but we're not actually seeing any action. And this, for me, is a good sign of, this is a good sign. I'm just getting, something's just sent me saying about Jorginho. Oh, we have to review that in a second. Yeah, so yeah, I forgot what I was even saying, to be honest. Someone's just took my mind off. I just read a message that came in about Jorginho, just took my mind off it. But yeah, he's definitely a top player, and I see him fitting in quite nicely. In terms of outgoings, players, do you see Chelsea getting rid of at least 2 forwards. I mean, ZIYECH looks like he's potentially on his way out. Werner and Pulisic are being linked to Juventus for De Ligt. Do you see a lot of forwards making way, or do you feel we're just going to grow the numbers that we have?
Yeah, I think some attackers will leave for sure. I think ZIYECH is going to go. I think I'm not sure about Werner yet. It's going to be really interesting. Werner and Pulisic are obviously in negotiations with Juventus as part of the swap deal, apparently. So that's going to be really, really interesting. But yeah, some have to go. I think ZIYECH is almost certain to go. I don't think we would have pushed ahead for a right winger if ZIYECH wasn't leaving, in my opinion.
That's a bit of an easy question. Well, I mean, who does he start over? It depends who stays, really, doesn't it? But who does Raphinha start over in our team?
Depends
Pretty
on the
much all.
formation as well, right? So
Well, let me put it this way: if we play a free, does he get in the free up front? I think he does. Well, off the right, I'd still play him over ZIYECH, over
but then what about
whoever.
Mount? Where does Mount go in the three? That's my problem. It's like what is
I think,
because he's
yeah,
almost he is a guaranteed start for most managers. So I can't see a situation where Mount is on the bench next season. It just doesn't
true.
compute in my mind.
Unless we do a complete formation switch and we go into a 4-3-3 and we play Mount as one of the behind, like as a 10, where people feel is his natural position, Raphinha off the right, Sterling off the left, and then Havertz up front, which is like, do you know what I mean? That could be the way forward, but then we don't have that out and out DM, and we're going to talk about DMs and midfields in a second, actually, because there's some news that came in on Jorginho, which we're going to go through in a second. Ben Jacobs, who's coming on the show tomorrow at Thursday 4 p.m. guys, he'll be in. Has come out with a funny comment. Mendy kicking off Raphinha's negotiations back in December, giving a nice little hug there. Yeah, interesting stuff. He also came out of this comment, Ben Jacobs, as well today on Raphinha. And it says Chelsea still discussing personal terms with Raphinha. Boehly is moving fast, and CFC expect to reach an agreement soon. But jumping the gun to say personal terms are done yet, however close. 5-year contract on the table. Deco has also asked about incoming/outgoings in attack. Why do you feel Deco would ask that question, Heights? Do you think it's more of a thing of game time for Raphinha, or is it more of like, who else is coming in to back it up, and like, are we going to be challenging sort of thing?
Yeah, probably. I mean, this is a normal thing you'd expect an agent to do before sort of deals across the line. I mean, we've done this with Sterling as well, right? Tuchel apparently had called him up, and Sterling wanted reassurances after over his game time, and after what he's experienced at City, so or what he feels like he's experiencing. So, yeah, I mean, this is normal talk for me. I don't expect anything like this to hold it up, to be honest.
Not gonna lie, I didn't actually expect Raphinha to be our first signing through the door.
No, this
Yeah.
is this is why it's so shocking. Like it's like we've just hijacked Arsenal, and we're talking about Sterling being done this week, and then bang, we get someone else done. It's like what's happening? You don't know what's going to happen each day. That's why I think this period at the transfer window is so exciting because something else could happen today on another player, and we just wouldn't know. It seems like Todd Boehly is moving fast, and then it comes out in the media a few hours later. So it is really exciting.
Yeah, it is really exciting, and it's going to be really interesting to see who we go for next. And it's quite funny because it's like playing a game of Guess Who, because we're linked to so many different people, and you just don't know who's going to be next to come through the door. And it's exciting times for Chelsea fans. Chelsea fans should be excited, because we are going to do a lot of business. And, there may be some that we're really happy with. There may be others that we're not as happy with, don't get me wrong. But, ultimately, we've got to do one real thing here as Chelsea fans, and that is backing Thomas Tuchel, backing his idea, what he wants to do, and his approach. And at the end of the day, he's been given control, big control, and Todd Boehly's there to back that. So for me, at the end of the day, guys, it's more of a thing of that some of us may not like a certain individual coming in, but until we see what Tuchel wants to do with him on the pitch, we have to give him the benefit of the doubt. So yeah, I expect a good 5, potentially 6 signings. Pies, do you think we could do a good 5 to 6 signings this summer from what you've seen?
Yeah, I think so easily. I mean, two forwards coming in expected. Raphinha, Sterling, 2 centre backs. That's 4 already. I think we'll probably get a wing back cover of some sort. I still think Aspi's going to leave.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, I still think Emerson's probably going to be back up to Chilwell. I don't know if we're going to sign a right and a left wing back, to be honest with you. Like, there's
Yeah.
obviously talks of the left centre back that comes in may play as like a wing back cover as well if we stick with a three. So there's so much up in the air and so much we don't know. So it's hard to speculate, but there has been talks of that. Yeah, and I mean, maybe we even get a midfielder as well, which would be six, or potentially a backup goalie if Kepa leaves, which would be
Mm.
six signings, maybe even seven. I don't know. We're definitely going to sign a lot of players for sure. Like we have
Yeah.
to, you know
We
what I mean?
have to. That is it. That is it. We generally have to, and that's the real big thing here. Chelsea are forced into a position where they need to back the manager, and I think Thomas Tuchel, and Todd Boehly more so are looking to do that this window. It's just who is the type of profile player that we are going to see coming through the door, and we are going to jump into centre backs next because we've heard some news saying that once we've sorted out the forward line, the next big priority is to try and get these centre backs sorted. We've been linked to so many different individuals as well, so make sure that you guys stay tuned. Look, there's 850 of you guys. We're on a road to nearly having 1,000 viewers tuned in right now. So, guys, please continue to smash the like buttons for both. I want to thank everyone that's tuned in as well for helping me get to 6K subscribers on this show as well. Thank you very much. The aim is to close a gap to 10K, hopefully by the end of this year. So, thank you very much for subscribing to GNA TV. If you haven't, please do so. But also make sure, guys, that you are subscribing to Chelsea Fan TV as well. We're currently sitting on GNA TV with 470 live viewers at the moment. Only 134 likes, guys. Let's all hit that like button now. Hit the like button for Raphinha. That's what I'm going to say. Hit the like button for Raphinha. On the Chelsea Fan TV side, we are close to 400 live viewers there as well. 390 viewers there. They've got 174, 176 likes. So Chelsea Fan TV at the moment are closer to getting to 200 likes than the GNA TV lads are as well. So guys, let's both try and get this to 200 likes as quickly as possible, please. And big up to everyone. Big up to every single one of you guys that are currently tuned in with us as well. It's a privilege to have you guys here. Right, so we move on. We move on from this, players. Should we move on to Sterling before we get into the centre backs? Because Fabrizio Romano came out. Well, you tweeted it actually. So came out on yesterday at around 5 o'clock, saying that Chelsea's new proposal for Sterling will be around 35 million with add-ons. Have you heard any more news on this today in and around if Chelsea have actually laid an offer in today or not? Or is it still just a waiting game to see once, when the proposal will be put through to Man City?
Yeah, waiting game, I think, bro. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this. The thing is, for me, I think this bid goes in today. I think that might be the big news. Maybe we get something today later on, because I think it seems like we're focusing on multiple deals at a time. But like yesterday, this came out, and I thought this was going to be the news, but obviously potentially focused on Raphinha more yesterday, I'd imagine. But to be honest, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes at the moment. It's very, very sort of private and secretive, and yeah, it's hard to get information honestly at the moment. But yeah, I expect this bid to go in 35 million with add-ons. I mean, City's seem to want around 45, 50 mil. Whether or not we need to bid 40 mil with add-ons, I don't know. I'm not sure. But obviously Chelsea, Todd Boehly phoned these up and asked the price, so he's obviously worked out that this is going to be
Yeah.
a fair offer. But at the same time, we've still got a few more days until the end of the week. This could get rejected, and then we could put another one back in, and then it'd be done. So who knows? The good thing for me is that we seem to be working very fast.
Do you know what the mad thing is? Todd Boehly is moving quite quick. And when you start hearing comments like he's on the phone pretty much saying, listen, what is it you want from us? Trying to really find out where he needs to be, as quickly as possible, and then acting on it. On certain ones, obviously, Raphinha, he acted on very quickly. It seems like he picked up the phone and just went, how much you want for Raphinha? 60. All right, well, if we give you 55 plus add-ons, all right, cool. Yeah, all right, no worries. Cheers, see you later. Like,
it's like that pretty much. Like that. That's why I always said about Marina, bro. Marina is not a good negotiator. Everyone always said she was brilliant. She wasn't. She wasn't at all. We were so slow in the transfer market every single window for years and years and years, and people constantly praised her. I just didn't understand it. I always knew. But by the way, Todd Boehly is not even a bloody sporting director. Imagine when we get a proper, actual professional qualified one. Like, it's going to be even better. But right now it seems like there isn't better than Todd Boehly because he's moving so fast and he's serious about it. It's not. It's transfer dealings are not hard to do, bro. Sometimes it is a case of putting the money down and it's done within a day. We've seen that with Raphinha. So
do you know what's absolute? Do you know what's mad? It's like, you're right. Marina would have probably took ages to sort this out, right? But do we actually need a director of football when we've got an owner that's just picking up the phone and go, right, what do you want? Nah, not interested. What do you want? All right, you would give it to you. There we go, done. Like,
it's funny when you think about it because like he's probably doing that in his American accent, like it's funny, like yeah, it's funny.
Listen, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Big up to Sammy who's in the chat. Says big up to everyone watching. Literally, big up to everyone. We've got 940 people combined in here at the moment. We're nearly at 1,000 players, nearly 1,000 live viewers tuned in right now, combined, which is massive. 500 on the GNA side, 400 on the Chelsea fan side. Big up to every single one of you guys. Ben Jacobs here tomorrow as well, Thursday, 4 p.m. To bring us even more news, hopefully some breakings as well. So, yeah, make sure you guys are aware of that. But yeah, it's crazy. Honestly, it's absolutely crazy how Boehly's moving in this window, and this is a good start. Isn't specifically like, we should be excited about it. We've got a very good player, but at the same time, we know that there's so much that still needs to be sorted. The forward line, if we're going to lose players, we're going to need to make sure we're bringing in Sterlings. There's talks about potentially that we still want Dembele. I don't think, a short one on this place. Do you think Dembele's gone in the waters now, for the fact that we've gone for Raphinha?
I think so. I think it was one or the other. But who knows? I'm not ruling anything out, to be honest with you, at the moment. But yeah, Dembele for me and Raphinha, they are right-sided players. I'm trying to imagine a scenario where maybe one of them could go as a number 10, but I don't think that would really work. So yeah, I think this is probably dead in the water. Although, like, he's not given an answer to Barca yet, whether or not he stays. Like, if Dembele comes available for free, like, do we just go for him for the sake of it and just have like a ridiculous depth? Like, what do we do then? Because for me, still, like, you don't really pass up on the opportunity to get a player like Dembele. It's really, really hard for me to see him go to another club. If he stays at Barca, fair enough. But if he goes to another club, I will be a little bit disappointed because I did really want him. It's kind of like the Kounde thing. If he goes to Barca, I'm gonna be disappointed because I really want Kounde. So yeah.
100%. I want Kounde badly. I think if people don't know me, I am a massive Kounde fan. Like, I've wanted him for so long. I don't think they were like, I don't really have a player agenda. I'm more of I have an agenda for my for my football club. But with Jules Kounde, I just see a player that is so made for Thomas Tuchel, so made in his abilities, the way he plays, and we will benefit so much with him and Reece James on that right. I'm telling you, like, that would be a formidable right with Raphinha there as well. And then potential Dembele. Look, I'd be happy to introduce a player like Dembele to Chelsea on top of Raphinha, on top of Sterling. Why not? Back in the day when we were so successful as Chelsea Football Club, we used to have people fighting for their positions, but the greatest thing is we had ammunition in all areas, and it was good ammunition. This, from what we saw last season, yeah, all right, we have a great 11, but we got found out because our squad depth was just not there. So this is what I'm saying. If Boehly wants to go down the route of bringing in some quality, even more quality in certain positions to give us options for different games, for maybe the potentials of injuries moving forward, do it. I would never turn away Dembele. I do feel that Barcelona will still probably get him over the line, but who knows? And what Liam Towney said here as well, where he says Chelsea needed Lukaku's massive wages off the book to do any significant refreshing of their attack in this window. The problem is only Park, though, not solved. What happens next summer? There's nothing to suggest Inter will be able to afford him then either. And he's got a point there. In the short term, it still works for Chelsea because you offload Lukaku off the books. That's a big, 3 to nearly 400k a week gone. Do you know what I mean? And, it does make sense, but we are found with the same problem next year with Lukaku. If Inter Milan don't want to keep him, say he goes into Milan, he has a stinker, he comes back to Chelsea, we've got no choice but to either offload him for something really dirt cheap and just cut our losses, which I'm cool to do anyway, or we got to keep him here. And he doesn't want to play for Chelsea anymore, does he, Pies? Can you imagine Lukaku back at Chelsea next year playing for us?
No, I don't think I don't think that will happen. I think if anything, he's going to go on another loan potentially. Yeah, I don't see him flopping there either. I think on his homecoming, he's going to want to do well. He suits that league. He banged last time, and Inter are improving their squad a lot. By the way, they're looking to make quite a few signings. I think they have done already. So no, I don't think there's a way we see Lukaku back at Chelsea. I know Chelsea's crazy, and you can never predict the future. But yeah, I'm not sure on it, to be honest, if
Sure
that
on that.
happens.
Yeah. All right, we're just going to quickly read out this donation. Thank you, Fraser Arman. It says gas. I don't know what he means by that, and I don't even know what currency that is. 50,000 something. But thank you, bro. Big up to you, and thank you very much for that donation. What do you mean gas? Are you running out of gas or something? You're on the road? Like, I don't know, bro. Let us know. Let us know.
Tell you right
Um,
now, Jim. I just looked up. I was really interested in currency. That is Indonesian rupiah, and it's a £2.77 donation. There you go.
Listen, mate. When you see in this country, when you see numbers like that, you're a billionaire, mate. That's all I'm gonna say. You're a billionaire. But yeah, no, thank you very much, very much for the donation, as always, to the channel. Big up to you. Yeah, guys, still over 900 of you here. Big up to every single one of you. Just get this to over 200 likes if possible. We're going to jump onto a little bit of new news before we get into the defense, and we're going to talk about this comment here from, and I've got such bad pronunciation. Is it Nicolo Shkira? Is that the right way of saying it? Yeah, I don't want to say it wrong. So he says an exclusive here, says Jorginho was in Milano yesterday. He can leave Chelsea in the summer transfer window. His contract expires in 2023 and there is no agreement for the renewal or as of now. The midfielder would like to return to Serie A. Pies, if this is true in Jorginho and we haven't entertained a new contract for him, obviously we know he's going to go back to Serie A. But does that tell you even more that we're going to look to buy someone in midfield?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure if this is true. I don't really rate Nicolo as that reliable, but look, I respect
Mm.
every journalist. This could be very true, especially as it's an exclusive. But yeah, I mean, the Jorginho, I think Kante probably stays, but Jorginho and Kante are set to have talks very, very soon, right? So I think we should get some news out about these. And if we are targeting Savic, maybe the club already knows something behind the scenes where one of them is leaving. Um, but again, I don't know. I kind of feel like that Jorginho will stay. It's just how much does he want to go back to Italy? We all know he wants to go back. But how much does he want to go back? That's what we've got to find out. Is he absolutely desperate, or let's see.
I don't know. I think he will want to find himself back there to finish off his career personally. I don't know if Chelsea, I think Chelsea are only offering him a contract if they are genuinely struggling to bring someone in that position, personally. You bring in Savic for Jorginho. They're two different type of players, though. They're not exactly a like to like, are they? It doesn't really solve the DM area from bringing him in. And like Sepis is here, why waste SMS as a DM? I don't think we would. I think you'd probably see a pivot still, personally, with him and Kovacic or him and Kante. The issue you have is that one would have to sit, the other would have to go. And it's just about the understanding of that. Before we had DMs and whatever, I mean, Claude Makelele back in day was the one that originally created it for me personally. But it used to just be central midfielders. It used to be a straight 4-4-2, but your central midfielders could do both defensively and go forward. Now, they didn't always have to score goals, but they were able to navigate and do both. One was probably better moving forward and playing the ball quicker in. The other one was probably a little bit better just holding back and, just reading the game better overall. And, they were never called DMs and CM. It was just more of a thing of like you had central midfielders. And I think this whole narrative of that we need a DM, I agree with it. Don't get me wrong. I do agree. I feel we need to strengthen that area depending on what formation we play. But if he chooses Savic, isn't that a clear idea that maybe he's just thinking, I don't need a DM. I just need people with energy and feet in the middle and able to attack moving forward. Because we know Chelsea will 95% of the times dominate games unless they're playing Man City or Liverpool. It's having the control of games, which we do have. And it's just about what you do with the ball from the field moving forward. And if you're going to bring Raphinha and Sterling and all these different types of players into the team, you need to have players that can make something happen for them, play that pass in. So it wouldn't shock me if Savic was brought in and Jorginho leaves and you have Kante, Savic, Jorginho, Ampadu and Billy Gilmore are still hanging around. Do they stay as backup for now as a stopgap? Declan Rice may well be the main motive for Chelsea, but maybe just not now. Maybe just not at this moment in terms of fees. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Jorginho moving forward in on from that as well. We're going to talk about defenders now, guys. We're going to jump into something else that's very important. We still have 466 people on GNA TV, 191 likes. Let's get this over 200 likes, guys, please. On the Chelsea Fan TV side, we've still got 400 of you guys here, over 880 of you guys here at the moment. They've got 226 likes. Let's try and close that to 250 guys in the chat if you can, please, as well. We're going to move swiftly on to some more newer news in regards to De Ligt, because this is an interesting one. Obviously, the comment we got here, which is from Cy Phillips, is with De Ligt, Chelsea are still working on a deal with this and are looking at what players they can offer to make it happen. Juventus are digging their heels in on the fee. Reliable sources have told us that De Ligt is interested. He's interested in a move to Chelsea. Guys, do you feel that this might be the same sort of case with Declan Rice? Like 100 mil is a lot of money to just pull out for a centre-back. And maybe we look at other alternatives. I know we've been talking about Koulibaly, Skriniar, Kounde, all these other different options. Ake's in there as well. Do you feel that Chelsea may be able to find an agreement for this player at a lesser cost? And they've already apparently eliminated the idea of having Werner here, but it seems like they may be potentially interested in Christian Pulisic. So what's your overall thoughts on this deal that's going on?
Well, that's all I'm going to say. Demartio actually said a couple of days ago the talks were planned for today, I believe. So I'm not reading too much into any of the other information that's coming out, especially in regards to Werner, because I think they are interested in Werner. I think there is a deal to be done, but again, for me, Demartio is the guy for Italian news. He said that the price is really high at the moment. And then obviously Fabrizio come out, said Chelsea inquired with Koulibaly. It's what I actually like as well from Todd Boehly, because if this is true, it's like, well, it's kind of what you said earlier. It's like, right, Juventus, how much do you want? This is how much you're willing to pay.
Yeah.
No, okay, bye. I'm going on to someone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of attitude he's taken, and that's ruthless. That's not messing about. That's doing what's best for the club. Looking at our budget, we're not going to overpay. We'll pay what we want to pay. But at the end of the day, we're not going to hang around here like Marina and try and do a deal if you're not willing to do one. And it seems like he wants deals done straight away, like the Raphinha one, like the Sterling one. Look, if you can't do a deal within the time frame I want, then I'm going on to someone else. So that's what I really, really like about Todd Boehly so far and what seems to be coming out. But yeah, I do think there's a deal to be done for De Ligt. I just think it's going to be hard. And whether or not Todd Boehly thinks, well, this is taking too much time, maybe that is the case. But we'll see. I still think there's more news to come out on this one.
What do you think about the player himself? Are you quite interested? Who are your main, who do you want as the defense of Chelsea going into next season? Who would be your choices out of all the options we've had? It'd be interesting to know.
Yeah, I do like De Ligt. I think less so at left centre back in a three. I think he's more of a right centre back, which then probably eliminates Kounde, which is what's so interesting about it. Also, I think he's probably best actually in the middle, to be honest. I kind of see him as a long-term Thiago Silva successor, especially in a four at the back. But in a three, I'd probably play him in the middle, which is a bit awkward because then you've got Silva. But yeah, either on the right or in the middle in a three for me. Left centre back would be the last option. He's not really played there much. Speaking to some Juve fans and Dutch fans as well, but yeah, I think he's a really good player. I think he can improve a bit on the ball, but he's a very good defender. Slight concerns over his sort of like size and agility. He's a bit clunky, but sometimes that people comparing him to Harry Maguire and all that. Like, let's be serious here. Like, but Yeah, no, in terms of like agility and stuff, like you know what I mean. Kunde's much more of a yeah, he's got better balance. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to explain what I mean, but you'll see it when he plays. Like he's a bit stiff sometimes. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I know what
turning
you
and
mean. He's
things
got
like
that
that.
like
You know?
he turns like a lorry sometimes, but
Yeah,
he's not
yeah.
actually really really slow though, is he? He's not like
No,
ultimately
he's not
that.
slow, but it's like Kunde, like he's really agile and bouncy, and you know what I mean. Like he can
Yeah,
turn
yeah,
really quick.
yeah,
But the
yeah.
lick's more of a. It's kind of like you remember when we was linked with Shule and everyone was like, "Oh, he's a bit of a, you know, he turns a bit slow. He's a bit of a truck."
Slow.
The lick
Yeah,
can be like that, but once he gets going, he is pretty quick. It's same as Shule, to be honest. He's very quick.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think you're right, and I think the reason you say that is probably just more from the Tuchel element in terms of like the type of player or the profile of player that you'd probably look for in his system, and Delit maybe doesn't fit that in like how he is and how he looks in the body size and structure and that. But you're definitely right. He brings leadership qualities. Potentially, probably here for the long run in replacing Thiago Silva as well. It will be interesting because if we do get him, man, what does it mean for Kounde? And I really want Kounde because I think Kounde suits the way that we play. Um, but it's going to be an interesting one. I feel it's gonna fall down to the fee element of it, not specifically the player that they want, but how much Todd Boehly wants to pay. And he's probably sitting there. What he's doing, which I like again, which we've spoke about, he probably picks up the phone, and goes, "How much do you want? Yeah, no. Do you want him and him for this much? Yeah, no. Okay, cool. We'll come back to you in a bit." Like that sounds weird, but he's probably like that sort of cutthroat is probably why we're so linked to so many different players. And if he's doing that with Lit, and then he goes to Kounde to Sevilla, and then they go, well, we want this, etc., etc., and then on the flip side of it, you've got Skriniar, who's another option for 50 million. PSG are interested in him, and then there's Ake, for example, who we're looking to get as well. Like if it seems like he's just weighing up his options, and then obviously I'm assuming he'll bring the options together, he'll work out the finances, and then he'll sit with Thomas Tuchel and say, what ones suit or what ones do you want? Ideally, he's a bit too much, but if you get him and him, does it work? Blah, blah, blah. And I think ultimately that's what they're probably doing at the moment, which is going to be interesting as well. So let's see what happens moving forward with that one. I want to talk a little bit about Jules Kounde now. Jules Kounde, because Sevilla have told Chelsea that they must meet Jules Kounde's reduced asking price within a week or face paying significantly higher fee. I mean, I don't know how true that is, Pies, because originally I thought that they wanted the full release clause, which is why Chelsea were not willing to meet it. But now all of a sudden, it's a case of, oh, we've given you a reduced asking price and we haven't agreed to it. So I don't know how true it is. Obviously, it's 90minute.com. Again, not too sure about them. But what's your thoughts on the whole Kounde thing as well? Do you feel like Sevilla are just holding out for the full amount, hoping Chelsea will pay it? Or do you feel that Chelsea are just sitting there waiting for Sevilla to come back to him when they realise that they can't sell him to anyone else? Because Barcelona are looking like they can't even afford the players that they've got at the moment with the struggles that they've got. So what's your thoughts on the Jules Kounde thing at the moment?
Yeah, I actually think the deadline stuff is true. As I remember Nizar tweeting out that they needed to do a deal, I think by June 30th, which is when that's actually tomorrow. So for finance reasons, and I think if not, the price was going to go up. So I mean, maybe this is going to be very interesting today and tomorrow to see if anything comes out on Jules Kounde. But yeah, I know personally he's definitely down on the list of Tuchel's options in terms of his preferences. But at the end of the day, Kounde is still a very good player, and Tuchel likes him. It's just I keep trying to explain this to everyone. It's like you as a manager can like players but still prefer others, but still be happy if the other ones come. You know what I mean? Like it's not people are like, oh, Tuchel doesn't like Kounde. No, that's not the case. He just would like, in an ideal word, potentially some others, like Presnel Kimpembe is a very, very big fan of. Seems a very, very big fan of Nathan Ake from what we've been told. So yeah, I want Kounde, but let's see.
Pies, do me a favour. Just continue answering some questions in the chat. Someone's just rang my doorbell. I'm the only one in the house at the moment. I've got to get it's probably a delivery. Yeah. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah. 2 seconds.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to be hosting the stream now since Gemma's gone. Hopefully, we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think about Raphinha's fee. I think Gemma's just done a poll there. 60 to 65 million. I think it's 55 with add-ons. Let me know what you think. And also on the centre-back situation as well, guys. What do you think about Jules Kounde coming to Chelsea? I put a tweet out on my page, CFC 365 official. My second page for my website. I put, if you could have one, who would you choose? Jules Kounde or Matthias de Ligt? So let me know. Let me know how much you would say.
Sorry, I was. This is the problem, innit? When you're in the house on your own, usually I've always got someone in the house, but I was like, I need this delivery. I'm waiting for something to come, and it's like I can't answer the door. I've got to do it. It's typical. They always come when I'm on the stream. They don't come when I'm not on the stream. But what was the question you asked? Because people are saying delete. What's going
I
on?
mean, yeah, I was just saying, like, first off, what do you think about the Raphinha price? How much would you pay? And then I'd said, like, who would you rather have, Kounde or de Ligt for right centre back? So, yeah.
That's a good question, actually. Maybe we can put a poll out on that. That'd be a good one. Who would you? How am I going to do this? Who would you prefer at centre back? Chelsea. Do that actually. This is interesting. Let's do it. So I put in Kounde. So basically, guys, you need to pick two. So the two that have the highest percentage are the two that overall people want as the two centre backs. All right. So we put Kounde in. We put De Ligt in. Who else have we got? Skriniar, innit? Skriniar. And who else have we got? Ake, innit? Is there anyone else? But actually, should I do Koulibaly? I can't
Yeah,
do
probably
Ake.
over Skriniar, to be fair.
I
No,
can't.
no, do Ake, because he's more linked, I
Ah,
think. He's definitely more linked.
there we go. That is on the GNA TV. I can't unfortunately do it on the Chelsea fan TV side. I've not got access to the YouTube, so I can't put that poll out there, guys. But if you want to come over to GNA TV quickly and just quickly vote and then go back to Chelsea fan TV, you can do that as well. 424 of you guys here on GNA TV, 216 likes. 400 people on Chelsea fan TV still as well. 275 likes there. Big up to every single one of you guys as well. And yeah, Jules Kounde is an interesting one for me. I want him. And Pies is right. I think we'll have our preferences in many ways, but for me, Jules Kounde is it's frustrating because he's wanted Chelsea. You know, he's wanted Chelsea for the last 2 seasons, and we've not been able to get it over the line yet. It looked like it was fizzing out, and it seems like it's starting to come alive again. So it's one of them ones for me where it's going to be interesting to see who Chelsea choose as their 2 centre backs moving forward. Because choosing De Ligt, I've actually thought De Ligt would have played off the left personally, because I remember when he played with Juventus in a back three, they played him off the left, and I know he didn't play that great, but they used him there. So you know you could play him as centre back maybe off left. But if you do get De Ligt and Kounde, who I actually feel is quite a good 2, then you could probably still have a 3 at the back. You could even switch to a 4 back and play Kounde as a right back as an option because he can do that. But then you've got Reece James. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's really going to be interesting to see what Thomas Tuchel does moving forward. Somebody deluded he wants Barca more than Chelsea. Is that being deluded? Or I don't know what you're talking about there, mate. But big up to you, Faris, anyway. Kounde wants to stay in Spain. What? Because the Barca journos told you that. But Deco spotted in Barcelona, LOL.
Yeah, I just seen that. I'm not sure what he's doing in there, but I don't think they can hijack the deal. But yeah, he is in Barcelona.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's just
Why
left
would
the
he be?
club's offices.
Why would he be there if he's meant to be at Chelsea?
I mean, I just asked Rashad Rahman, the guy who has the big Barca page,
yeah,
like
he's
why
quite.
would he be there? He said it's Laporta's birthday. That's one reason. 2, probably to tell him about Chelsea's interest. I don't think we will hijack the deal. So I don't know. Let's
I
see.
don't think they can hijack the deal. That's the thing. I genuinely don't think they can hijack the deal. What about Koulibaly? He's an interesting one because he went a bit quiet, and then all of a sudden we got this news that obviously you reported on from Di Marzio that said that Koulibaly's agent was in London De Ligt and Skriniar's high prices are making Chelsea inquire about him. And that pretty much probably sounds like Todd Boehly, right? Because he's probably walking around talking to every agent, trying to find out who he can get the best deal from and whether Thomas Tuchel's happy to take on this player. But it's going to be hard doing business with Napoli, right? Because we know what they're like. We know what their sporting director's like as well. Do you think all that Koulibaly... Do you feel like Koulibaly's more that could happen more than potentially Skriniar or De Ligt, or like what do you feel looking at this?
Yeah, I'm glad to see Koulibaly's name's come back up. First off, I think he's a very good player. He's someone I really wanted for the left centre back role. Very very experienced. I would like him because I think it's perfect for Colwill as well to learn from him and then eventually come through. So yeah, I do think this definitely has legs into it. Of course, it's Marcio. So yeah, De Ligt and Skriniar are high prices. I mean, it's kind of what I said to you earlier. It's like Todd is obviously setting the prices, putting prices forward, and if not, we go to other players. But it's a great target to have for sure.
Yeah, I like Koulibaly. I know some people don't. They feel like he potentially is a bit, what's the word, costly in terms of like he can be he can fall asleep in his position and stuff like that. But I think he brings experience. 31 years old. If you can get a deal for him, then why not? You know, you'll play off the left comfortably, him, Thiago Silva, and then you look at maybe Kounde. I think that's quite a strong back three, personally. You know, it's interesting with the Ake one because I don't see him coming in and being like the main two. Do you know what I mean? Like, if we were to bring him in, it's probably because we've got a little bit of cash left over and we wanted backup in the defensive area, because I don't think Malang Sarr is pulling his weight. I don't think he's the type of guy that Chelsea should be looking at to be the backup. So, you know, there's still so much uncertainty, guys. There's so much that we can only guess on at the moment. You know, we can only guess on. All we know is that Raphinha has a full agreement with Chelsea. Personal terms are slowly being, you know, sorted at the moment. 6 million roughly a year, 115 to 125k wages roughly is what they're looking at. It hasn't been specifically a here we go yet. It feels very close to being a here we go. Funny enough, I just see a comment on an article saying that apparently Leeds are waiting for Arsenal to bid, or they're praying for Arsenal to bid more than Chelsea. I don't believe that one bit. So not going to happen, I don't think. But Daniel Sasaki is very uninspiring. Deco is a scout for Barca regarding South Americans. Nothing to worry about, is what CFC Ali is saying here. Personal terms are normally the slowest part of the deal. They shouldn't be. I actually think they're probably more of the quickest parts. You always hear that the personal terms are what's sorted first. And then obviously it's the agreements between the club comes a bit later, you know, because they need to find out initially if there's any, if the player wants to come, right? And that is the real thing there. But Sia Phillips has come out saying also about Declan Rice. And this Declan Rice news ain't disappearing, guys. I just don't see us getting him in this window. But obviously, I expect a move for Declan Rice to come into play later in the window. It is pinnacle to build a strong foundation
People
for
need
this
to
team.
stop going on about this, honestly.
I'm getting
It's doing
annoyed
my
about
head
it.
in.
Like,
It's so
yeah,
unrealistic. Like, right, can we just do the maths in our head,
go on,
please?
work it
Like,
out. Yeah,
right, Raphinha, let's just say 50 million, okay? Probably a little
yeah.
bit more. Sterling's going to be like 40, that's 90. Two centre backs is at least what? Say we sign Kounde, that's another 50. Then we probably get like Koulibaly or Ake. Like, you're looking at near 200 million before you're even thinking about a wing back, before you're even thinking about a backup goalie, although it's free. And then you're looking at what, 80 to 100 million for Rice. That's nearly 300 million pounds. Like, you know what I mean? We have a 200 million pound budget. Yeah, we can sell players, but have we sold anyone yet? No. Are we going to sell
Well,
anyone substantial? No, not really, because ZIYECH is going on loan. Lukaku's going on loan. Werner would be a part of a swap deal. Jorginho will probably, I mean, he's not even going to bring much in, even if we sell him. Kante, same thing. You know what I mean? Like, we've got no one substantial to sell. Like, it's not like we're selling a Kai Havertz or something like that, you know, to bring in, 90 to 100 million to afford Rice. I don't know what people are just doing this. Um, I don't know. I don't know why they're doing it. It's unrealistic for this window. West Ham are not selling Declan Rice. No way.
I'm getting bored of it personally. Look, the only way we can get him is if we sell players, and like you said, is there any real value in selling certain players? Timo Werner, you know, he's looking like to be a part of a deal. Christian Pulisic potentially, but then are we going to lose Ziyech, Pulisic, and Werner all in one window. I don't see that unless we're bringing in Dembele, Raphinha, and Sterling. Do you know what I mean? Like we'd have to have had like them replaced. So you know that's that area. Then you go onto the defense, and it's like De Ligt's like 100 million euros. Kounde's 55 to 60 million euros. You know, Koulibaly is going to be about 40. Skriniar is 50. What's Ake? What is even Ake's price? I don't even know. 30? 20? I
Well,
don't even
last
know.
time I saw, fucking City were asking for like 50 million from Newcastle. So
Yeah, all
yeah.
right. See you later. See you later.
Well, I mean, the thing is though, City paid 40 million, so are they going to let him go for less? No, not really. City are not the club to take losses, so you know what I
But
mean.
then concierge, even if we buy SMS, how much is he valued at? I think they want
That's
about
that's
60
why
million
that's why I don't get these SMS reports. It doesn't make sense. He's like 70 million.
euros,
Yeah,
isn't it? I think it is, or euros. I can't remember, but I think it might be 70 or
still a lot
60
of
million
money. It's
euros.
still well
Yeah.
over our budget, which what we've been told. So unless we're selling a midfielder, you know,
Who
SMS makes more sense. But then Rice doesn't. Rice is much more.
is this why you might see certain loanees being sold, like Broha, Conor Gallagher's? Like, could you
Yeah,
see
but if
that?
we sell Broyo, we have one striker, which then we need to go and get a striker.
But
So,
they might use Sterling as a false nine. We don't know that yet. If we then bring
well,
in someone, not that I
yeah, but
want
then
it.
who plays like Pulisic and Mount? Like that's unexpiring on the left hand side. I'd think we'd probably go in for someone else. I reckon. The only
Yeah.
Rice here.
I don't know. I agree with you. I think it needs to be stopped being spoken about. West Ham themselves have actually come out and said that Declan Rice isn't going anywhere. They're buying players left, right, and centre. And the last thing they're going to do while they're trying to strengthen themselves is get rid of their best player. That just don't make no sense, does it? It completely and utterly goes backwards on themselves. So they're going to hold on to him as long as they possibly can. I think Declan Rice will be available to come to Chelsea if he wants Chelsea next season onwards. And that's probably better for Chelsea because you can then negotiate anything in around 50 to 60 million for him because he's got one less year on his contract. I think it runs out in. Has he signed an extension, players? He has, hasn't he?
It was an
Rice.
automatic extension, yeah. So
What's he got in? What's he is it 2025? 2026? What's the extension? How long is the extension? I don't even know. I
he's
think it
got
might be.
3 more years.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I think we've got more chance of going in for him next year and that, but I think we need to get away from it. Yeah, he does solve the issue. I know so many Chelsea fans on Spaces cry for it. We need Declan Rice. He is the answer. He changes everything. I'm going to say this once. I'm going to say it again to people. It does help. We do move in the right direction having Declan Rice coming in, 100%, of course. But it doesn't make Timo Werner a better goal scorer. It doesn't make Hakim Ziyech create like he did for Ajax. It doesn't make Christian Pulisic the player that played under Dortmund when I think Tuchel was there. You know, like it doesn't get Havertz. Like I don't know, like maybe with Havertz, but I don't feel like it solves everything. I feel like sometimes Chelsea fans are like, scrap him, why are we getting him? Why are we getting him? If we just get him, we'll be all right. And it doesn't work like that. It just generally doesn't work like that for me. But we'll have to see what happens with it all. I don't feel anything's going to come of large of it. It's an hour and 8 minutes in. We have still got 400 people on GNA TV at the moment. Big up to every single one of you guys. Let's get this up to 250 likes, guys. Hit that like button now. Let's try and get them up on the Chelsea Fan TV side. We have 400 people as well, just under 400 people. You guys are 6 away from getting this over 300 likes. How quick can you get this over 300? And how quick can the GNA TV community get this up to 250 likes? Let's smash the likes if you can. Subscribe to both. If you haven't subscribed to Chelsea Fan TV, go and do that now. But also, please subscribe to GNA TV as well. We're on our road to 10K subscribers. And yeah, we just magically hit over 6K. So on this show, Pies, I've made the 6K, which is big for this channel, to be fair. So thank you very much, and everyone that's done that for us. I did put a poll out earlier asking you guys who you prefer as a centre back at Chelsea. The two that have stood out, Pies, is De Ligt at 42% and Koulibaly at 30%. Kounde is on 25% and Ake has 4%. So they want De Ligt and Koulibaly from when you average it out based on what the viewers have voted there. I mean, Koulibaly could play off the left, De Ligt could play off the right, potentially. But yeah, that was that's interesting. Over 200 plus votes on that one as well. Big up to every single one of you guys. Right, we've got an hour and 10. We're an hour and 10 minutes in. Still over 750 of you here. We are close to finishing off soon. Big up to Minerals in the chat as well. Good stream, Jem. Yeah, tomorrow we've got Ben Jacobs joining us at 4 p.m. So tomorrow, 4 p.m, Ben Jacobs. Hopefully he brings us more Raphinha news. We'll learn on Kounde. We'll learn on Sterling. I'm hoping he's got some fresh news for us. And make sure that every single one of you guys are back here tomorrow with me and Ben Jacobs on that. If you've got any questions you want to ask Pies while he's here, Chelsea Fan TV side, GNA TV side, put them in the chat now. We'll bring them up for the next 5-10 minutes. Go through them before we finish off. But where we stand at the moment is that Raphinha's close. It's not a done deal, but it's close. And on the others, Sterling's looking like the bid's going to be put in soon. But Kounde, Skriniar, Koulibaly, Aki are all still big names on the list, and we'll have to see what happens with that as well. Yeah, very funny. I haven't seen that, so don't even do that, mate. Don't even do that. Don't even do that. Can you imagine it though? He's gone to Barcelona or something. Blimey hell. What we got here? People sending me stuff. That's something else, though, isn't it? Why is he sending me that? Oh, there we go. Oh, I ain't even reading that. It's just left Barcelona office. Yeah, they're talking about some of the Barca journos are writing tweets out saying that Raphinha's agent has just left Barcelona's office. But as you've heard on here, Pies has already spoke to one of the biggest Barca journos who's just confirmed that apparently it's someone's birthday. Whose birthday? I can't remember. It was one of the Barcelona players' birthday.
The president of Barca.
So it's the president of Barca's birthday. Yeah, so maybe not as what people think and assume it is from the first instance. But let's go and have a look at some of your comments in here quickly because we've got a lot going on here. Any tasty ones? Will all these centre-back signings, where does that leave Chalobah players?
It's a rotation player like last season, I'm guessing. Yeah, nothing to be worried about. He's not going anywhere. Chalobah, I think, will be just keep growing. Right centre back spot. Probably deputise for Kounde or De Ligt or whoever else we sign there, I'd imagine. Reece obviously can play there in an emergency if we played three at the back. Four at the back, obviously we'd have way more centre backs, so then it'd be a bit more worrying for him. But yeah, when you can choose from three centre backs, Chalobah shouldn't be too worried, in my opinion.
Cool. Are we considering to keep Levi Colwill? Is he good enough?
The Athletic actually just put out, not Chelsea reporter, but Southampton are apparently closely monitoring his situation. And something I got told on Levi Colwill, Nathan Gissing went on my podcast and he said he's heard from Colwill's camp that he must play regularly and he can't be a bench player. So, all these people having a go at the club and Tuchel for perhaps letting him go on loan or maybe even selling him, well, perhaps take into consideration if he does leave, maybe it's his own personal ambitions. So, yeah, I just think a lot of these youth players that are coming through now want guaranteed game time. It's quite annoying.
What happens if Boehly gets Rice and the rest of the targets at GNA TV? Then he gets them.
We'll probably get a transfer ban, probably.
Yeah, we broke the FFP rule. Yeah. Honestly, we'd have to sell quite a lot of players to probably be able to do all this, like random players as well. Maybe he just decides to start flushing out the loanee project that we have here. I don't know. He'd need to sell a lot of players, put it that way. It would be interesting to see. What about Callum Hudson-Odoi? What about him? He'll be there probably, even though I feel like he should have a loan. Do you feel Callum should? I know you're quite a big fan of Callum, aren't you?
Yeah, I like Callum. I think he's talented. I think he's a really good player. I know a lot of people don't like him. Obviously, got really poor finishing, but overall, I think he's a really technical and smart footballer.
Tuchel knows how to use Neymar. Chelsea would be very strong with Sterling, Raphinha, and Neymar. If I was Chelsea fan, I would be happy to get Neymar. Would you, guys? Neymar, Chelsea? If there's an option
I don't know where he'd fit, but yeah, we definitely have to change formation if he came. But yeah, I don't see that one happening somehow.
No, I'm not even going to get into the Neymar thing. I've said it so many times on there. Chelsea, Jem, can Sterling and Raphinha be done by Saturday? I
In
think
terms
Raphinha will
of
go down.
in terms of
Yeah.
fees being agreed, yeah, for sure. But in terms of medicals and stuff, probably not. I'd probably say maybe late weekend, early next week. But yeah, let's see. In terms of fees agreed and
Well,
stuff, though, yeah, for sure.
the interesting one there is that obviously, again, something I read is that Tuchel wants some of these players before pre-season. Like he wants them ready, and then like you know what I mean for next week. So maybe you'll see that we do push them a bit quick to try and get
I
them
know
across the
Raphinha's
line
on
and get people
holiday
home.
at the moment, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
interesting. Although I mean,
Um,
he's actually he was on holiday with Deco, his agent. Now Deco's back in Barca, so maybe I don't know. Maybe a medical can be coming soon. Who knows? We'll have to.
yeah,
It's all very exciting. I just want to keep up with the news and see what happens.
yeah. And we need Pies to continue doing that. Well done for you. Put a comment out yesterday that you're growing. I think you said you got 800 new.
Bro, it's crazy.
You got, yeah,
500 more overnights popping off. Yeah.
make sure you go and follow Pies, man. You know who he is at CFC Pies on Twitter. That is literally it. You probably know him. You've probably seen him on there before. He's growing massively as well. Go and support his space. He's also got a podcast as well. And check that out, guys, which he will tell you a bit on when we're just about to finish off as well. Jem, is Raphinha done? No, it's not a done deal, but we feel 90% there, just waiting on the personal terms to be agreed and fees and whatever else. From what we've been told, anyway, from from what we've seen up to this point. So, fingers crossed, it could be done soon. What else have we got here before I finish? So many comments, bro. 700 people. It's so many comments to go through. Big up to you, Courtney. Nice to see you in the house. Smash the likes as well. I think say we have sort defenders then. Say we sort defenders and Sterling and Raphinha out, and then see what players we can sell and sort and for a Declan Rice deal. Still for a Declan Rice out. So he's saying Max is saying get these sorted and then see who we sell and see how much money we've got left. It's like when you go to the shop, isn't it? Yeah. Do you
It's
know when you
like
buy all
career
your
mode, bro.
yeah, it's
It's
like
like
career
career
mode
mode.
FIFA. You buy all the players you need, and then you like sell a couple, and you're like, oh, what have I got left? Have I got enough for him? Oh, no, I have to wait till next season. Yeah, same sort of thing. Are they true? Supposedly, the Ake rumors are true. We'll have to see. I'm still lost as to why with that. I genuinely am. I know some people say it's people taking it overboard, but I don't get. I laugh when Pies told me. I laughed. I laughed. Like, I still laugh now. I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. Who is SMS? Savic from Lazio. Um, should we sign? I'm assuming he's saying Bremer. Belmer? Bremer? Who's Belmer? It must be saying Bremer.
Bremer, I think.
Big up to Sportswire in the house as well. Stations. Tom Sugar wants to name Raphinha and Stone ready for pre-season reality. Barclaydino starts about Barclay. Big up to Guy Ev as well.
Hey,
Now we're not.
hopefully, it'd be typical Chelsea, right? Pre-season, one of the games, Sterling Raphinha starts. Barkley's the 10. Barkley scores a hat trick. You just know that's happening.
100%, 100%. I think we're pretty much there, guys, with it all. Then we are creating top 14. Top 14. We aren't challenging at all. Grey Wolf Dinner is not happy with the Raphinha deal. Don't know why. I spoke to him yesterday about it. He was saying to me he's not sold on it. But he's a big ZIYECH fan. So that's probably why. That's probably why. He's about to lose his position. Ruben lost his cheeks on 150k per week. Surely we pay another player the same wage and get more results. What do you feel on that part? Do you think Ruben could stay or do you think he could go?
Oh, this is an interesting one because, again, I know he played that bit of a right wing back hybrid role last season. Thought he was pretty good. I didn't think he was as good in the pivot, but yeah, I don't know. Tuchel seemed to like him, didn't he? He seemed to sort of used him quite a bit towards the end of the season. So yeah, that's another one that's up in the air. He's heavily linked with Lazio, isn't he? So maybe that's a
Everything's
separate deal that can happen.
everything seems up in the air when it comes to Chelsea. I'm not joking. There's just so much going on,
Yeah,
and we will continue to bring you that news, more news breaking. If it's Sterling, if it's whoever it is that Chelsea tend to decide to sign, we will be here reviewing that. Hopefully, Raphinha is a done deal by tomorrow. Ben Jacobs is with us then, and he can give us more details on the contract lengths, the costings, and everything else. Fingers crossed we get that off over the line sooner rather than later. But yes, Ben Jacobs will be with us tomorrow around 4 p.m. on tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow 4 p.m. So both Chelsea Fan TV viewers and GNA TV viewers, we had 900 of you guys here today in combined total, which is crazy. 500 people from the GNA TV side and 400 from the Chelsea Fan TV side as well. I just want to say thank you to you guys on our second combined collab stream of GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV. I will be here continuously bringing it. Might not always be with Pies or Ben Jacobs or others. It might just be seeing me going through stuff depending on their availability. But you will see, we will definitely be going through everything here, either when it's sort of broke or like we've done today, just a day after, just to go through everything on it as well. And we will open up the lines on other shows as well. So you will get the opportunity to come on and have your say. This one was more of a closed show today because we had special guests on here. Tomorrow, Ben Jacobs, special guests on. So get your questions in, your super chats in for tomorrow. And we'll answer them accordingly as well. But Pies, is there any final thoughts for you, my man? Anything you want to say before you leave? And let everyone know where they can find you and what you've got going on.
Yeah, just Twitter at CFCPYS or Pice or whatever you want to say. I know people say different. It's funny. But yeah, it's just my at on screen, and I have my other page, website, obviously chelseafc365.com. We do a lot of news and lots of articles on there. We've got different writers and stuff, and hopefully we're going to have some source transfer news from Nathan Gissing as well on there soon. So that should be really good. And the podcast, CFC 365 podcast on Spotify, hopefully going to be able to get Liam Toomey on from The Athletic this Friday. So, yeah, hopefully that is going to be happening.
There you go, guys. There you go. Make sure you go on his Twitter and check him out. It's literally his name there, at CFC Pies. Very easy. No point of me putting it in here because it's easy. You can just go on Twitter and type. It's not many words. It's like mine, to be honest, GNA TV. So, yeah, thank you again, guys, for the 6K as well. Honestly, thank you very much. On the road to 7K now as well. But get the likes up because on the GNA TV side, we've only got, we're 275 likes, guys. Before you leave, please, if you haven't hit that thumb, hit the thumb. Hit the thumb before you leave. Let's try and get this over 300 likes on GNA TV. Leave a comment in the box below as well. And let us know what you think about the show and what we spoke about as well. On the Chelsea Fan TV side, you've got 350 likes already. You guys, if you can close the gap to 400 as well before you leave, thank you guys very much for being involved on that side as well and getting involved in the chat. But like I said, guys, Ben Jacobs tomorrow. So get your super chats ready or anything, any questions that you want to ask him. We'll try and cover as much as possible within the hour that we potentially have him here as well. And yeah, you'll see me and Pies a lot more throughout this transfer window on other newses, on other break-ins. We'll be going through it together. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And hopefully we get some done deal Raphinha's done, which is what we're waiting for next. Big up to every single one of you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe. And we'll be back again tomorrow. Peace out, guys.